Starting the show off, everybody. Here it is. Awesome. Getting this set up. An interview with David from Exmortus. David, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited because tonight, and this is one reason why I was really wanting you guys to call in, the show in Walnut Creek, we have you guys, Hysteria, and Arsis, and also was it Allegaeon?
Allegiant, yeah.
Allegiant, yeah. I always mess up. I'm horrible at pronouncing that. I feel bad for that band. They're really good. I mean, the whole lineup right there, those four bands are pretty solid. Now, how many shows have you guys already played with, Arsis and Allegaeon, or Allegaeon?
What's today, the 18th? So probably like 18, 17 or some shit.
Exactly. Yeah, you guys have been playing a lot. And also to start off, you guys were up north, right, in Canada?
Yeah. It was way better than... I mean, we're heading back to Southern California right now. I'm in the van, and everybody's passed out. Conan right next to me, he's passed out.
So we have the whole band in the van right now, everybody, an interview. I never had that.
Yeah, everybody's just crashed out because, the drive from fucking Portland was like 10 hours. And yesterday, we got pretty wild yesterday, so, we left kind of late. So now we're just we're rushing over there right now.
Yeah, once you cross over to the border, I've always wondered, is there any difference between the crowd reactions, the whole setup of the venues? Do you feel there's a different type of energy once you cross, or is it still got that same passion, no matter where you are in Canada or, America?
I think it just depends on the venue. I mean, there's really nice venues in Canada and stuff, but then there's really nice venues here, and then there's really shitty venues in Canada, and then there's really shitty venues here.
So I guess
it just depends on where you're playing and shit.
It's just the layout
of
the
crowd and all that.
Exactly. It's just the layout and what happens, definitely. Now, you guys released Slave to the Sword. That's the album that you've been pretty much playing, I'm sure, most of this tour and really promoting since you released this earlier this year, February.
Yeah.
And when you play those songs live, I was wondering, because, again, you guys have been around for quite some time. Was it 2003, 2004?
Yeah, for Conan and Mario.
So
started the band,
So the band's been around. Now you're incorporating these new songs. How's that been going? Do you enjoy the new songs? Do you feel, it's kind of, invigorating, or, something that you just like to play, the new stuff, to get it out there and see how people are reacting to it?
Yeah, because this last album's a bit different from the first two. It's I mean, for me, some of these songs are just they're hard as fuck, but they're really groovy, and they're just they're fun to play, especially Moonlight Sonata.
That's what I was going to bring. That song, to me, is something that a lot of listeners who do not know this, Exmortus, they cover a Beethoven piece. And that, to me, is you guys must have really... Was that challenging to do? Did you think, how are we going to do this? Or
Yeah. Me and Conan were watching these videos on, people doing it with, 8-string basses or fucking...
all those technical guys that stay in their rooms for about 24 hours and get no sleep.
Yeah. And then, I was we're man, we could probably do that on 6-string guitar, right? That's possible. Then, the day goes by, and then the days go by, and transcribing it to, our own version.
But I have to say, it sounds great, dude. It really does. I think you guys, it shows, again, that metal musicians in general, they do have a connection to classical music. I think those composers back in the day, if they were to listen to music, again, metal has that quality to it, I think the way it's built up and it's composed. So you guys, when you covered it, I thought it sounded kind of natural. It just worked well with your style.
Dude, that's the first time I've ever seen anybody mosh classical music.
There you go. Get some metalheads into it. Now, I was going to bring up, speaking of your guitar playing abilities, you and Conan, you guys did the national anthem at a minor league game, right, in Bakersfield.
Yeah, the Bakersfield Blaze baseball game.
Now, how was that experience? Because Metallica, was it James and Kirk up here? I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. They actually went out during, was it Giants opening day? It was Metallica Day or something, and they did the national anthem. So I was wondering, how did you guys feel you did your version overall?
I've seen a good couple of versions of it. I've seen Yngwie do it. Yngwie Malmsteen do it.
Oh yeah,
he did a really good
one.
rendition. But I think when we wanted to do it, we wanted to do first it's in a minor key, so it sounds kind of weird, and then it gets major, and then it sounds all triumphant and whatnot. I mean, just it's a national anthem, So then I don't know, one of us is like shredding what's going on, and then I'm just like, you know, kind of playing the little rhythm parts and shit. And I mean, we didn't really hear anybody do it like that, so you know, we wanted to make it as Exmortus as possible.
And you guys did, like you said, again, you have one guy playing the main rhythm and then another guy just cutting and shredding. And I thought that was very creative. I think that really stood out to people. And
then we do the behind-the-back Guitar 69 trick thing, too, for that.
Hey, gotta throw in some fun character, right? You know, gotta entertain the crowd. Entertain the crowd there. Now, another thing I want to bring up about Slave to the Sword and how you guys have been promoting, which really, to me, is great for you, Exmortus, a band that in this day and age, it's so hard to get, you know, metal music out there in the masses. You know, very few bands are able to do that. You guys, though, got a kind of a break-in of some exposure on Liquid Metal. You could talk about that. You guys were interviewed by Jose. I actually listened to parts of the interview. It was really cool. And you guys got to play some of your stuff, too, while you're in the studio with him, right?
Yeah, it was on my birthday, too, so I got to do some shots with them, and it was pretty cool. And they sang happy birthday to me on the air. It was cool.
Wow, see, that to me was really cool. You got to go to the New York studio and hang out with Jose and everybody there?
Yeah, it was on my birthday. I got to meet In Flames and stuff. Yeah, I've been a really big fan of In Flames stuff.
Wow, that sounds like a happy birthday right there.
Yeah, it was good. And then the show at Santa's Party House in New York was fucking awesome. I was just having a good time.
Yeah. It sounds like you've been touring quite often here, I've noticed. Again, you play with Flotsam and Jetsam. What was it, this past... What was that? I'm trying to remember now.
Like July.
July, yeah. You guys, and then I remember Night Demon, you guys were doing some stuff before that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
we played a couple shows and stuff, and then we were on... we did, like, guest vocals and stuff on their album.
Exactly, that's how I remember. Yeah, So I want to, again, how do you balance this as a fan? You know, I'm trying to figure out, is it extremely difficult, you know, the scheduling, or does things just happen to work into place? You're able to kind of work around, you know, the busyness of your, you know, touring and recording lifestyle?
Well, I don't know. Everything's kind of, I just go with the flow, man. Whenever they ask me to come down, I'm like, all right. But yeah, I don't know.
You seem like
I don't know how I do that.
You seem like a pretty easygoing guy. That's what I like. You're just enjoying it. You're not, you know, worried. Again, there's that big thing. Do a lot of bands, you know, where they do, you know, talk about making it. You're just kind of enjoying the experience right now. You're not putting too much thought into, you know, the future. You're just kind of playing. You're just playing the music. It sounds like.
Now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this lifestyle, it's like you have to love it more. I mean, you have to love playing, obviously, but you have to love just traveling and fucking breaking your fucking feet and fucking just getting busted up and shit, and love this life, you know? It's like, it's pretty hard to just be away from home for that amount of time, and, you know, it's not like we're fucking millionaires.
Yeah,
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like you have to have just a passion for this.
That's very interesting. The famous quote from Bon Scott, which everybody out there knows, you know, it's a long way to the top.
If you
want to rock and roll. There you go. So
getting ripped off. The pain. Fucking, he's right. He's so right.
Exactly. Now, well, speaking of future, this is a question. It's staple, I feel, in all my interviews I've asked. Once you are finished with a tour, you know, what is usually the next step for you guys? You're going to go back into the studio, or you have some more tour plans worked off? You might take a break and then go back out on the road, do some stuff.
Yeah, probably a few shows here and there.
Do some shows.
Back to the studio.
Do you guys record much on the road, or do you once you get back at your place and you kind of settle down and practice, then you start recording new material, or does it just kind of come when you guys are out there on the road jamming, or how does that work? I was wondering.
We usually wait till we get home. I mean, we like to jam out all the stuff so it comes, so it comes naturally.
Yeah. Again,
so we all just contribute and shit, like, you know, while we're doing it, you know, just while we're together, instead of just, you know, little pieces here and there and shit, and usually how we do it.
Yeah, you know, again, your style of music, I've always said it's something that it takes practice and it takes passion. That's what it is, pretty much, people. If you listen to Exmortus, I'm going to be playing a couple of songs here coming to start the show. Get some metal back on K-Sun, you know, take it away from those rap-loving people here. But what I hear, again, and I can say from you guys, you really do have it. You have the excitement factor. And tonight's show, what do you think? I think it's going to be crazy. What do you say?
I think it's gonna be fucking great.
It
All
is-
the shows on this fucking tour have been great because all these bands just slay. Like, they make. I have to fucking practice more because these dudes are just like Christ. I don't know. Arsis and Allegiant, they have some of the sickest musicians I've ever seen. Dude.
Yeah, Arsis especially, those guys, it's insane to watch sometimes. So I'd like to say, David, thank you for calling in. It sounds like you were, I'd like to thank you because everybody right now is pretty tired, I'm sure, after last night. And then again, you have to get up, put on another show. So I thank you for being the one that was chosen to call in.
Thank you for having me.
You're on the tour. Keep rocking it, and I hope to see you tonight and put on a great show, man.
Right on, dude. Fucking keep it heavy.
Keep metal, man. Later.
Later, dude.